y'all? It's your guy, eBay Fight Predictions in the building. And this is your Rafael Fiziev versus Mateusz Gamrot breakdown. Man, I love this fight in the lightweight division. This is the new generation versus the new generation. Both guys have been kind of tried and proven. Both guys have fought top contenders and proven themselves as top 10 level fighters, but they both have failed their top 5 level test, right? So obviously Gamrot failed his Benny fight, and then obviously Fiziev failed his Gaethje fight. Now I'm a big I would say I'm primarily a fan of both guys, not Fiziev, but I'm talking about Gaethje and Benny, and I'm a fan of both guys. I'm not like the biggest Gaethje fan. Sometimes he can throw me off, but hey, he did me a favor taking out P-Head, so I respect him there. But I kind of predicted Benny to beat Gamrot. It's probably one of my better picks of the year last year. And then Fiziev, I mean, I was so like, I was about to pull the trigger on Gaethje beating him, and I just, I fell into that trap of, the Gaethje Oliveira fight, and is he done, and stuff like that was kind of running through my head. And yeah, man, it is what it is. But it's one of those things where I just fell in that trap, and it was a close fight. I know some people still think Fiziev won that fight, and I don't necessarily agree with that. But Gaethje got it done against him, and now we're here. Both guys have been separated some time. Obviously, Gamrot he got a win in between his loss to Benny, so obviously Gamrot's on some good momentum. Fiziev, he got beat up a little bit. He got beat up bad in that third round gas, and he's always shown that issue, right? He's shown some fights where he has a good gas tank, but I feel like whenever the pace is like risen, the rhythm is risen, everything is rising, he kind of falters a little bit. But when he's fighting at his own pace, I think he fights great, But yeah, man, obviously let's talk about the tail of the tape. Rafael Fiziev comes a record of 12-2. He's fighting at a Phuket, Thailand. Actually, he's fighting out of Florida, age 30, a height of 5'8", and a reach of 71.5. I forgot Fiziev's a Kill Cliff guy. Mateusz Gamrot comes a record of 22-2. Is fighting out of Poland, age 32, a height of 5'10", and reaches 70.5. He's also an American top team guy. So, hey, man, Florida versus Florida, ATT versus Kill Cliff. So, it's going to be a bit of a little gym rivalry, but great fight, though. I love this fight. Grappler versus striker, obviously. No real storyline here, just two really, really good lightweights that have legitimate championship or future championship potential in both of them, and we're gonna see who can really crack through the other to make it to their potential. It's kind of just one of those storylines. But if we look at a guy like Fiziev, man, I mean, I have been super critical of Fiziev, I feel like, but I mean, he gained my respect after the Dos Anjos fight. Now, obviously, the beating Dos Anjos at lightweight, I think it means something. We just saw Dos Anjos lose to Vicente Luque, but that's at welterweight. I feel like RDA was, I think RDA is his legacy at welterweight is very subjective. You know what I'm saying? It's very subjective how you look at it, because his original run to the interim title was pretty good. I mean, he beat Robbie Lawler, beat Neil Magny, and then he fought Colby Covington. And I feel like he can beat a certain type of welterweight. I really, really do. But if a guy can outmuscle him, he's kind of fucked. And that's really what's kind of happened. Guys that are just bigger than him, they use that size, they just end up beating him. You saw Chiesa, he used his size against him. Luque did it just recently. Leon Edwards, he kind of beat him on the feet, but he also used his wrestling. Usman put on a wrestling masterclass, and then Colby Covington, I think, laid out the blueprint on how to beat RDA as a welterweight. So yeah, but as a proficient lightweight, RDA is a legitimate guy. He hasn't lost at lightweight in a long time. Last guys he's lost at lightweight were, I think, Tony Ferguson, Eddie Alvarez, and is it Jeremy? It might be just Jeremy Stevens. So those are the guys that I can think of at lightweight that have beaten him, but RDA is a killer. We saw what he was able to do to Renato Mocayo, who's legit, in my opinion, at lightweight. We saw what he was able to do to Paul Felder, retired Paul Felder. So he's a legitimate lightweight, I feel like. Just big guy, strong, good wrestler, good striking. And Fiziev was able to deny all his takedowns and outstruck him, and then finished him off. And it was just a masterclass of performance. His best performance ever against the most credible name he has on his resume. And yeah, he has the win over Brad Riddell. He looked really, really good there, but we all saw what happened to Brad Riddell after that fight. Kind of went on a bit of a slope. Lost his last 2 fights. Beat Bobby Green, which is kind of decently for him. Bobby Green has shown that he's a decent fighter. It's aged well more for Bobby Green than it has for Fiziev, if I'm being honest, because it was a really close fight. And I remember watching it live. I kind of felt like Green won it, but when rewatching it was obviously, I thought Fiziev won the first 2 rounds. So fair distinction there. Obviously has a knockout victory over Nato Mokan. That's a good win for him there. And then his win over Mark Dukeski, that got him some fame. His last loss before the Justin Gaethje fight was the Magid Musafayev loss. Got caught. But he has shown throughout his whole entire career good takedown defense. And I think that's going to be a big, tall order to ask for Mateusz Gamrot to continuously get takedowns on him and not feel the ferocious striking of Fiziev. So it's going to be a very tough fight for both guys. And you can just see this resume. It's building. And the Gaethje fight was very close. And everyone looks at Fiziev as the true, I feel like people put, and you can even put Benoit Saint Denis in this group now, but it's like this guys of Arman, Gamrot, and Fiziev, and I think everyone kind of looks at Fiziev as the outlier to the guy that make it to the bell, and I understand why. Really good striking and really good takedown defense, and we've seen those guys become #1 contenders, like Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, right? Those guys have all become #1 contenders, or at least hold interim gold, right? So that's kind of what it's told us, but I've always said it, man. If you have a good grappler versus a good striker, the good grappler usually wins, right? That's how I kind of look at it. And Gamrot is my guy. I think Gamrot has the most potential out of all these guys. I think Gamrot, he fought a fucking motivated Beneil Dariush that was ready to say fuck you to the world for doubting him, and he lost to that guy. And there's no shame in that loss. It was a close fight in the first round. I edged the first round to Gamrot, actually. And then after that, Beneil took over. And it was my crowning moment. I told the world, I told you guys Benny was going to get it done. But obviously, Benny just let me down big time against Oliveira. But it is what it is. But yeah, Gamrot, good wrestling, good striking. He has such elite level wrestling in terms of his shot selection. He just looks like an Olympic level wrestler. He wrestles like that. I'm not saying he has the level of an Olympic level wrestler, but he has that just that technical aspect to his shots, and you can tell he watches a lot of USA grappling, or I wouldn't say USA grappling, just wrestling in general, and he just learns from. He's a student in the game, I feel like, and he's more of a jiu-jitsu guy than anything. That's the funny thing. But when you see some of these guys like GSP or these other grapplers that really study the art of wrestling, they pick up on the traits and they get really, really good at it, and it changes their games. And that's what Gamrot is. He's a student in the game. If you look at his resume, he fought Guram Kudaleze. I thought he won that fight. Garam thought he won that fight, so he won that fight in my opinion. His only loss in the UFC to me is Beneil. He destroyed Scott Holtzman, had a fucking phenomenal performance. And one thing that Gamrot doesn't get enough credit for is his boxing game, his in and out game, his footwork game. He's very good at being on his back foot, circling, and not necessarily going forward, taking too much punishment in the pocket. He's always jumping. He's always attacking from the outside, then going to the inside with the 1-2. And it's such a beautiful shot he landed on Scott Holtzman and got him out of there and finished him. Destroyed Jeremy Stevens, kicked him out of the UFC, finished him with the quickness with the Kimura. Had a tough fight with Diego Ferreira. That was kind of the fight that made me pick Benny, was this fight with Diego Ferreira. And he showed that some interesting parts of his game there, where obviously he didn't like getting touched up a little bit, and if a guy can scramble with him, he has issues, and then it becomes a hard fight for him, and then he can't really will himself to a win there, you know what I'm saying? So it's very tough in that scenario. But against Arman Tsarukyan, the performance of a lifetime, the greatest moment on eBay Fight Predictions channel, when I told you guys that Arman Tsarukyan was a fraud and he is not him, and you guys cry in the comments, Arman won, go cry, because they raised Mateusz Gamrot's hand that day and he became the victor. I loved what he did in there. He bullied the bully. He put it on him. Obviously Arman did his thing those first two rounds. I gave Armin those first 2 rounds, and the body kicks were really good. And if Armin fought a different fight, I think that the results could have probably been different. If he would have fought more of a striking fight like a Beneil Dariush, it probably could have been different. But Armin just got caught up in that, I need to out wrestle this guy, and he made the biggest mistake because Gamrot can grapple with the best of them. I think him and Islam Makhachev would be very interesting. I really, really do. I think the power and the striking of Islam would probably give Gamrot the issues, but if it was just straight grappling, I think it'd be very, very interesting. But yeah, man, he fucking did his thing. Outworked him in the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th round. I don't think one singular knockdown wins you the whole round. If you watch that whole 4th round, the grappling work that Gamrot was doing, breaking that man, the facial expressions from Armin Tsarukyan, he looked like a broken man. He was ready to quit. He didn't have that dog in him, bro. He didn't have that dog in him. We all saw it. And then that, dude, I think the most glorious moment was the 5th round where Gamrot outworked Armin, took him down at will, and broke that man and made him kiss the floor. And he fucking walked over him. It was like, Gamrot, baby! You know, he flexes. And I was just so hyped, bro. It was such a great fight, and I thought Gamrot won it. And yeah, they gave it to Gamrot. It was a great fucking scrap. I was laughing to the fucking bank that day. All you motherfuckers were crying, so hey, it is what it is. And then he obviously had the Beneil loss. I talked about that, and he had the Jalen Turner fight. Good fight, very close fight. He got hurt. So I think my only critique of Gamrot's game is his control time. I think he doesn't control his opponents. The same issue I have with Colby Covington sometimes. He takes these guys down, but he lets them right back up. And I get it. That's the power of, of your cardio and stuff like that. You want to break them. You want to let them up and then take them out and just break their will that way. But sometimes it just doesn't look like a good thing for the judges, because if they get out and they hurt you, they score the damage based on more of the takedowns, right? This is more of a striking game than it is a grappling game when it comes to MMA, and that's how I finally accepted the sport. But so that's one thing I do not like from Gamrot. One thing I am scared about in the Fiziev fight, because Fiziev has shown good hips, he has shown good takedown defense. And I think those first 2 rounds are going to be super dangerous. The body kicks are going to be there. Gamrot ate some fucking body kicks from Armin Tsarukyan, so I know he has the cardio, he has the mental fortitude to go outlast the damage that Fiziev is going to give him those first 2 rounds. Because when you talk about damage and body strikes and head strikes, it's really based on how good shape you are. If you get knocked out really quick, like, obviously it can happen to anybody, but sometimes guys can take a lot of damage if they're in great shape. And we all know Gamrot comes in great shape. So I think Gamrot can outlast those first 2 rounds, even though it's going to be super, super dangerous. In my opinion, those first rounds are going to be super dangerous because that's Fiziev putting investments, seeds of a KO future win in the later rounds, where he's attacking the body, or attacking the legs, because in the 3rd and 4th round he's going to be attacking your head at will, because you're thinking about your body, you're thinking about your legs, you're thinking about I gotta check that kick, it's a high kick hitting my dome, I'm knocked out, okay, I'm back in the ambulance. All right. You know what I'm saying? That's usually how it goes sometimes for that guy. If you watch that Brad Riddell fight, that's how he set him up. He was going really low to the body a lot, he was attacking the body a lot, and it was a close fight. It was a very tough fight. But when he threw that spinning heel kick to the head, he had him. He had him real good. So that's kind of what Fiziev's going to be doing. He's playing chess. A lot of these other guys are playing checkers, but he's also playing against a chess master and Gamrot, in my opinion. Gamrot sets up his takedowns perfectly. He does the Rashad Evans things where he will take you down at the end of the round to ink the round. He's smart, really good fight IQ. He knows how to win in front of the judges. It's going to be a very, very tough fight. It's a big fight for me because I'm such a Fiziev hater by the public, and this is my guy, Gamrot. I'm a big Gamrot fan. He's really up there in terms of some of my favorite fighters to watch. Anytime his fight week comes, I'm happy because I get to watch Gamrot fights. So it's a tough fight. It's a very tough fight, but I think Gamrot is him, and I do not think Fiziev is him. And do I think the KO threat is there? Yeah, but I think Gamrot's a way better minute winner. He lives in those championship rounds. He fucking lives for moments like that. 3-round fights do not do Gamrot justice. It's those 5-round fights that make him who he is. He is a guy that breaks people. He is the gamer for a reason. And I am picking Mateusz Gamrot by decision or late submission in the 4th or 5th round, or ground and pound strikes in the 5th or 4th round. Those are kind of like the picks I'm kind of going, but I am on the side of Gamrot. But if you want me, gun to my head, who am I picking? Gamrot by decision. That is my final pick. That's why I'm probably going to put on Tapology. But I do not hate this fight not going the distance. And yeah, it's a tough order to ask for Gamrot to go finish this man Fiziev, a guy that's never been finished in the Oh no, he has been finished in the UFC, my bad. But a guy that's never been submitted in the UFC. It's a tall order to ask for Gamrot. But if there ever was a guy that can fucking do it, it is Mateusz Gamrot. That is my breakdown, y'all. I am a big Gamrot fan. I am war ready. Rafael Fiziev fangirls, bring it on, baby. Because this fight week, fuck the other fight week. This fight week right now is war. This is I'm letting you guys know I will be streaming this card. That's how fucking hyped I am for this card. And I think I'm gonna be trying to stream for the next. My goal, don't put this on me. My goal is to stream Fiziev versus Gamrot, Dawson versus Green, because there's a pack watch coming for Bobby Green if he loses. So I want to watch that. Yusuf versus Barboza, and then obviously the fucking Saturday card, Makhachev versus Oliveira too. So those are the fights I really want to watch. And yeah, man, I'm gonna be streaming all that. I'm gonna set a record. I have not streamed a lot of fight nights, and yeah, I'm gonna stream 4 times in a row. That's my goal. Hopefully we get there. But yeah, love y'all. Goodbye. Go follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. Like, comment, share the video. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation going. Love y'all and goodbye.
Channel. I'm gonna go check that out. And hey, subscribe to eBay's Fight Prediction. Let's keep the eBay Fight Predictions Nation growing.
Mateusz, are you ready, bro?
Rafa! I don't see you, bro. Where are you? I don't need guns like you. Bro, see you in Las Vegas.